Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. Hope that you had a good weekend. I did. I went diving, went to the beach, great times, and now we're back at the charts again, and I have a lot to show you today, so please watch all the way to the end because we're going over all kinds of time frames, support, resistance, and possible trades. Before we go into diving the charts, as always, I'm going to ask you to smash that like button, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also, feel free to check out the links in the description. And without further ado, let's dive in. We are starting off with the BTC USD pair, and we are starting off with the weekly, and it has happened. We have printed 9 red weekly candles in a row. That's the first time in history we broke the record from 2012-2014 where we had 8 red weeks in a row, and now we have 9, and it looks like right now we are bouncing up and we are finally, maybe finally printing that green weekly candle. So that looks good. So then it looked like that the 29k was our almighty support after all. A few things that I'm noticing is that the money flow is still going down, but it looks like the momentum wave maybe wants to curve up a little bit, get a little bit of that relief rally. RSI is still pointing down, and the view up is pointing up, so a little big signals. But I think if we start pumping further, then all of this will turn to the upside, and then we can expect more upside momentum. If I zoom in on the daily candles, then we still see that the money flow is quite thick. But if I extend this a little bit, then it looks like that the money flow wants to curve back up, and that would also then coincide with this VWAP going higher, RSI is pointing higher, and of course now we have the green dot that was quite fast after this red dot, meaning that we actually already printed our bullish divergence quite fast here after the red dot. It is a little bit hard to see, to be honest, because then actually we need to draw the line. Well, if you do the candles or the bodies of the candles, it will work out. Then you can say, hey, you know what, price has a lower low, momentum wave has a higher low, this is a bullish divergence, we're going higher. There's something else I want to show you, and it is a little bit lame, I know, because we have been changing this pattern now already multiple times. That is this triangle pattern that earlier we had it somewhere drawn like this, and then I think the second time was somewhere like here, and now the third time we had it even longer like it is right now. And then I saw also a pattern come by. I was like, yeah, well, you know what, we actually could also be just in a wedge like this, where you could say, okay, we were just apexing all the way to the end, and now we are going higher. This breakout to the upside would then also coincide with maybe us playing catch up on a DXY and the S&P. I will show you that later. First, we need to look at the target. Let's adjust this a little bit, and let's just be a little bit cautious. If I put this right here on the breakout, then we will end up at approximately 32,500, 33,000, bit of the top right here. Well, maybe, you know what, I need to make it a little bit like this and this a little bit higher. So let's say 33,000. I think that's a good round number. So actually then the target of this pattern would be 33,000. Few things that I'm seeing. Right now it looks like we want to print that red dot, and another thing is that right now the stock markets are closed in the United States because of Memorial Day, meaning that if we are zooming out here on the daily, that we had a pump here on Saturday, Sunday, and now on Monday, which creates a tremendous CME gap, and the bigger the gap, the higher the chances that it will be filled. Right now approximately 7%. Let's say we will go out of the day around this level, then that is quite the gap. That usually then will be filled. Doesn't mean it goes all the way back down to the level, but let's say then this is the gap. Then the price could do something like this, go down once, tap it somewhere in the middle, and then go higher. So expect that the price could go lower. And what I said earlier about playing catch up, we talked about this already last week, where we said, you know what, the price is just going sideways, and at the same time we're seeing the dollar index going lower. And you know what they say, if the dollar index dumps, then BTC pumps. So far we haven't seen that, but until then, let's say this weekend where we kind of had the breakout, but still this pump doesn't justify this dump what we have seen here on the DXY. At the same time, you see that Bitcoin is quite correlated to the traditional stock market. So when the stock markets are dumping, BTC is dumping, and when the stock markets are pumping, BTC is pumping. But also that pump has not really shown, although the S&P and the Nasdaq Dow Jones had a tremendous week last week, and climbing up. It's 6-7%. This is just S&P. I think the Nasdaq was much higher. So BTC was still lagging. So it could be that we're now finally going higher, playing catch up, making much higher price levels to kind of correlate again with the DXY and with the S&P, and that would totally make sense. Then we would also print finally our green weekly candle, and then also this bullish divergence would play out. Now, does it mean this is the bottom, we're going higher, 100k, yippee yay, put it in long? Not exactly, because like I said, we have the CME gap. That is really a point of concern for me. And if I'm zooming into the hourly, then there is two other things that I'm seeing. Yes, this was quite the pump up. So if I would pull a FIP retracement, and then I need to have this one, I think, yeah, until this low-ish, then I actually, if we would go lower to retest this breakout that now flipped, so the resistance is now flipped into support, then this needs to hold. That would then also coincide with the golden pocket. As you can see, right now hanging around 29,300, or yeah, 29,300, 29,400-ish. So that will be major to see. That would then also coincide with a pattern that we have seen multiple times before, maybe going sideways, then going lower. What is that? The bar pattern. Exactly. We have seen that so many times playing out again. Matter of fact, I can quickly look one up for you if you want to. I think it was, yeah, here. We have seen here multiple bar patterns where we're just going up, sideways, going down again, going up, sideways, going down again. So that has happened so many times. I would not be surprised if that happens. Then we would have multiple successful scenarios. One, this golden pocket might be tested, or the 0.5. Two, the CME gap might be tapped, aka filled. And then we also had a retest here of the support line. So actually, if we would go down, that wouldn't be such a bad thing at all. If we do go down, then of course I first need to see some more confirmation. Our money flow on hourly, thick in the green, few up going up, and it looks like now the momentum wave is going higher again. What would be nice if this thing goes like this, and we are creating a bearish divergence on the hourly, and then going lower to maybe retest some of those levels, and then the money flow also needs to flow over. So far we have not seen that yet. So far the bulls are in control, and this thing could maybe even go much higher or much more sideways action, but we want to see more confirmation here on our indicators at the bottom before we are jumping into any trades right now. Quickly head over to the 15 minute. Well, actually, you know what, let's do the 12 minute, because there's a little bit more visible, and there you can see that we were actually already creating bearish divergences on the indicators. You see price goes higher, price goes higher. So yes, this actually was a play to the downside, but we're not seeing that following through. So I think on the bigger time frames we might need some more time to roll over. Also right now the volume is a little bit lagging, I think due to because the American stock markets are closed. And also what I was seeing, what kind of concerns me, is that on this breakout here on the 4 hourly, we're also seeing that the volume is just lagging, and we have seen that so many times. If the volume just doesn't kick in, this thing might want to go lower. What we of course don't want to see is a complete retracement, maybe in here in the pattern, or going lower than that 29k. And I said in Friday's video, okay, let's break the 29k, rip the bandage off, go lower, make a new low, and then go higher. But then of course this suddenly happened, quite unexpected to be honest. If I look in time, this pump happened Sunday night for me. There was 8 or 9. That means that it was in the middle of the night of Europe and just early in the morning for Asia. So it's quite a rare time to break out. So you would say maybe there were some wheels in Asia that pushed this breakout higher. Of course we have this red dot, so yes, maybe this would signal maybe a little bit more downwards action, or we could also do something like this, where the price makes a higher high and the momentum wave lower, and then of course we also have a bearish divergence. Of course, the higher the time frame, the better. That would not be a big problem for here on this big time frame. We can easily print 1 or 2 red candles on a daily, but as long as this momentum is now just going up, going higher, that would be nice. Again, price targets where I'm looking at on the upside. First, then this downside, like I said, that is that golden pocket, this resistance level. Then maybe this one at 29k. Let's finally now hope that we are going a little bit higher. The price levels that I'm then looking out for is actually not so hard. That will be approximately the 32,000, 33,000, but we also still have that CME gap from this price section here in the weekend, where we have approximately 34, 35,000 that's still open. So if we would reach that, I actually do expect that a lot of sell volume would come in. So definitely keep an eye on that target right now. If I were you, you were not in trade, do not jump into a trade. Wait until you have more confirmation signs for A, are rolling over, or B, that we are setting up to go higher, and then you could go higher. Definitely check out the stock markets tomorrow morning to see which move we're getting, but know right now that if we go out of this level, that there's a CME gap. Yes, we can form a bar pattern. Yes, we have a golden pocket here, and yes, we have a few resistance levels above us. So it could go either way. I do expect a lot of volatility coming in right now, so I would not be surprised if we see both and lower and higher this week, or that we just see a major rip off and then a dump again. I really expect so far still every level. Was this the bottom? Is the bottom in or going higher? I am not convinced yet, because on the weekly and on the monthly it still just looks very, very bloody. When after 9 red weeks, you cannot just say that was the bottom, let's go 100k, yippee-ki-yay. We just need much more confirmation. Also on the monthly, and the monthly candle will close in a little bit more than 1 day, it just looks very, very ugly. So we want to see maybe the momentum wave curling back up. This, I'm afraid, guys, was gonna take another few weeks, maybe even months before we're going higher. So everything in this zone, approximately until, let's say, 48 or 56, that for me is just accumulation zone. We can do either both. Even we could go all the way back to 48 and then just dump down and make a newer low. I definitely see that happen in the next couple months. So definitely be warned for that. I also said it actually last week in the video, so if you just watch the video on a daily basis, then you are up to date and say, yeah, BTC and ETH are decoupling, exactly what we just talked about here on the DXY and the S&P 500. And I also said in Friday's video, you know what, I see 2 scenarios, 33k, 35k. Well, it looks like we have finally chosen direction, so 33k is then my level to go to. And I definitely want to advise you to check out the videos daily, because we're trying to update you as much as possible. Quickly head over to ETH. We're not going to do ETH so detailed. Also here on the daily, still quite ugly actually. You see thick money flow into the red. Looks like it wants to curve up a little bit. Also here, finally, we are seeing a uptrend here on the momentum wave. That would be nice. Let's see how much fuel this has. The levels that I'm looking out for, matter of fact, let's extend this a little bit first. Yeah, oh, actually we're running into resistance right now. That is approximately 1950. If we would break that, I would go approximately here for the 2000 level, and then the 2200-ish would be my price targets, but that is still quite a lot. I do think that we're gonna see a little bit more of a bumpy ride. I actually just thinking that I have I forgot to show you the volume node here on BTC, so you can see where is support and resistance. You know what, let's take the 4 hourly, then it's a little bit better visible. Let's take this right here. That is almost all trade volume. Nice, that is right underneath. So that is also just underneath the golden pocket. That actually would be very nice if that also would hold support if we were come down. So that all looks good. Right now, as you can see, we're also entering a little bit that light gray area, which is the overbought area, which is just above us. Actually, we are right now trading at it, so that is approximately 30,500, 31,000. That's kind of where it starts. So if we would go much higher, then do expect that we might see a little bit of a retracement. So far, so good. Let's not discuss ETH much further, because like I said, I think actually that BTC is just leading the dance and then the alts are following, but now you kind of know what I'm looking at. Last thing that I want to show you is that please follow me on Twitter, and I'm asking you that every video, but it is important because not only do we update you about crypto, but all kinds of stuff. Like here, Jeremy Diamond saying crypto is now our preferred asset other than stocks. I also said, to be honest, I think Luna 2.0 is going to fail. Faith and trust are gone, and I'm afraid for pump and dump during the launch. And look at this, we now had the pump and we had the launch and just a complete dump of Luna 2.0. and said to you, I'm sorry, this just worked out just perfectly. Check out the feed from earlier. I told you so. The trust is gone. People just use this, they dump their assets to make a little bit of money, and that's it. I think the project is absolutely over. But other than that, we also I also try to post some memes sometimes and show you exactly what's happening in other stock markets, but also sometimes videos about central banks and all kind of good stuff. I'm doing this so that you can learn from it and get this broader perspective and understanding of the markets, and that crypto is not a bubble on itself. So I hope you find this informative and that you like these kinds of videos. If you do, then please show your appreciation by liking, subscribing, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share the video with your friends if you think that's useful. I would like to thank you guys so much, because I see the views going up, see the likes going up, see the memberships or the subscriptions going up, and it just makes me very happy. So thank you guys so much for all your dedication and your time, and I love you all. Thank you all guys so much. See you next one. Bye bye.